In a world that thrives on distractions, the ability to focus has become a rare, yet invaluable skill. But what if I told you that the path to true mastery, peace, and achievement lies not in chasing everything at once, but in controlling what you can and focusing only on that which truly matters? The Stoics, ancient philosophers who mastered the art of resilience and clarity, understood this principle deeply. They knew that by focusing on what's within our control, we could navigate life with unshakable strength, free from the chaos of the world around us. So I ask you now, where do you place your attention? On fleeting worries, uncontrollable outcomes, or on the very essence of what you can shape the present moment, your thoughts, your actions? This is the lesson the Stoics impart to us. Control what you can, and you will become a force capable of enduring anything. In this video, we will unlock the timeless Stoic lessons on focus and how, by directing your energy towards what is in your control, you can rise above distraction, build unbreakable discipline, and forge a life of purpose. This is not about chasing the world's approval, but about mastering your own mind, your own actions, and your own path. Let us begin. 2. The dichotomy of control, understanding what you can and cannot control. The first lesson in mastering focus begins with a simple yet profound concept, the dichotomy of control. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, taught that life's troubles arise not from external circumstances but from our inability to distinguish between what is in our power and what is not. This distinction is the bedrock of Stoic philosophy and the first step in reclaiming control over our attention and actions. What can you control? Your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your efforts. These are the only things that lie within your dominion. Everything else, other people's actions, the weather, the past, the future, falls outside your grasp. The more you attempt to control the uncontrollable, the more you invite frustration and turmoil into your life. The Stoics understood this and knew that the key to mental clarity, peace, and focus lies in embracing this dichotomy. The world, in all its chaos, will always present challenges and uncertainties, yet you possess the power to determine how you meet these challenges. You may not control the events that unfold before you, but you have absolute control over your response to them. This understanding is not just liberating, it is a pathway to focus. By ceasing the futile effort to control the uncontrollable, you can direct your mental energy toward what truly matters. Consider the many distractions that cloud our minds: opinions of others, societal expectations, random events, external pressures. These are forces that attempt to pull our focus away from what we can control, distorting our purpose. But when we clearly draw the line between what we can and cannot control, our attention sharpens. We learn to focus on the present moment, the task at hand, and most importantly, our internal state. When you face a situation, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, then let it go. Release the burden of trying to fix the uncontrollable. This act of mental discipline frees your mind from the noise and clutter of the world, creating space for true focus. The Stoic leader does not waste energy on frustration over things they cannot change. They know that the time spent worrying about the weather or what others think is time stolen from their own growth and purpose. Instead, they place their energy where it counts, on refining their actions, mastering their responses, and shaping their destiny through deliberate, focused effort. In every moment, you are faced with choices. Do you dwell on the uncontrollable, or do you direct your energy to what you can shape? The difference between these two paths is what separates the weak from the strong, the distracted from the focused. When you align your thoughts and actions with this understanding of control, you create an unshakable foundation for your focus to thrive. The key takeaway from this lesson is simple but powerful. Focus your energy only on what is within your control. Once you embrace this Stoic principle, you begin to live deliberately, choosing your responses and your actions with intention, leaving behind the endless struggle against the uncontrollable. Through this clarity of purpose, you find the strength to focus, to persevere, and to rise above the distractions of life. As we move forward, we will explore how this understanding of control directly impacts your actions and mindset, sharpening your focus even further. But first, take a moment to reflect what in your life is consuming your mental energy that is outside your control. Can you let it go and place that energy into what you can control? Your future depends on this ability to master focus through the lens of control. 3. Control your thoughts, mastering the mind. The mind is the battlefield where all of life's struggles begin and end. Every action you take, every decision you make stems from the thoughts you harbor. And yet, how often do we let our thoughts drift aimlessly, consumed by distractions, negative self-talk, and external noise? The Stoics knew that to truly control your life, you must first control your thoughts, for the mind is where all power begins. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders, often reminded himself that his thoughts were his to command. He understood that our minds are not meant to be passive recipients of whatever enters them. We have the power to choose which thoughts we entertain and which we discard. In every moment we are presented with a choice. Will we let our minds be controlled by external events and emotions, or will we assert our will over them? To master focus, you must first master your thoughts. The Stoics taught that this begins with awareness, the awareness to recognize when your thoughts are drifting or when they are hijacked by fears, anxieties, or distractions. They believed in the power of deliberate, conscious thinking. Instead of letting your mind wander aimlessly, you must cultivate the practice of intentional thought. Every time a negative or distracting thought arises, ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Does it serve my purpose? If the answer is no, release it. Replace it with something that aligns with your values and goals. This practice, done consistently, trains the mind to focus on what truly matters. Just as a soldier sharpens their sword, you must sharpen your mind, making it a tool for deliberate action rather than a source of confusion and frustration. The Stoics also understood the power of perspective. How we perceive situations determines how we respond to them. When you face discomfort or adversity, your first instinct might be to react with frustration, anger, or fear. But the Stoics taught that you have the power to shift your perspective, to reframe the situation, and choose a response that aligns with your highest principles. By changing your thoughts, you change your reality. This is where true focus begins, not just in the external world, but in the internal world of your thoughts. If you allow your mind to be pulled in all directions by negative thinking or unproductive distractions, your focus will be fragmented. But if you practice the discipline of controlling your thoughts, you create a powerful mental environment that can concentrate solely on what is in your control. Imagine you are faced with a difficult challenge, perhaps an important meeting, a tough workout, or a personal conflict. Your first impulse may be to let your thoughts spiral, anticipating failure or worrying about the unknown. This is the moment where your Stoic training kicks in. Recognize that your thoughts are not facts, they are simply interpretations. Shift your perspective and focus on the present task, the actions you can take, and the control you have over your response. This practice of mastering your thoughts is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong journey. But the more you refine your ability to focus your mind, the more you will see your external world shift in response. The Stoic leader controls their thoughts with precision, knowing that a focused mind is the greatest tool they possess. In the next section, we will explore how this mental discipline translates into focused action, the kind of action that is deliberate, virtuous, and aligned with your goals. Remember, your thoughts are the root of all your actions. Master them, and you will master your life. 4. Focus on your actions, the only things within your control. In the realm of Stoic thought, there is a clear understanding that actions are the only true currency of control. The Stoics did not concern themselves with outcomes, nor did they fixate on external circumstances. They focused only on their actions, because actions, when deliberate and virtuous, are within their power to shape. Your actions, not your intentions or external results, define the person you are becoming. Consider this: you cannot control how others behave, how the world reacts, or the unpredictable turns that life takes. But you can control how you respond, how you act in any given situation. The Stoic leaders understood this truth deeply. They knew that by focusing on virtuous action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, they could shape a life of purpose and resilience. The mind may wander and distractions may arise, but the body always returns to action. This is where the power of focus truly manifests. Every day you are presented with countless choices, each a chance to align your actions with your values. You might choose to act with courage, patience, and discipline, or you might choose to fall in toes, habits of laziness, distraction, or emotional reactivity. The Stoic path is clear: focus on deliberate, purposeful actions that align with your highest ideals. A key to maintaining focus on your actions is to ground yourself in the present moment. When you are focused on what is directly before you, whether it's a task at work, a personal project, or a relationship, you are not allowing yourself to be scattered by irrelevant concerns. You are aligning yourself fully with the present task, giving it your full attention. The Stoics valued the practice of mindfulness in action, the ability to be completely immersed in what you are doing without being distracted by the undefined stream of thoughts and worries that typically floods. When you act with this kind of focus, your actions become an extension of your internal values. Each choice you make, no matter how trivial it may seem, becomes a declaration of who you are. Are you the type of person who procrastinates, who lets distractions take over? Or are you the type of person who takes deliberate action, who stays present and does what is required of them with purpose and discipline? Focus on your actions because they are the bridge between thought and reality. While thoughts are fleeting, actions are concrete. When you take consistent, deliberate action, you shape your future with each decision you make. It is not the grand gestures or rare moments of brilliance that define a Stoic life. It is the everyday, small choices made with focus and intention. Let us consider an example. You have a long list of things to do, some difficult and some mundane. The temptation is to focus on the end result, getting through the list as quickly as possible, without much thought or care. But the Stoic approach is different. You don't worry about finishing the list. Instead, you focus on completing each task with excellence. Whether it's answering emails, working on a project, or simply interacting with someone, you give it your full attention. You do this because your actions are within your control and they are a reflection of your character. The key takeaway here is that your actions are the only true expression of what you can control. Mastering your actions is where focus has its greatest impact. When you focus on each deliberate step with unwavering attention and purpose, you are not only moving closer to your goals, you are becoming the person you are meant to be. In the next section, we will discuss the importance of detaching from the outcome, a vital Stoic principle that will further strengthen your ability to maintain focus on the process itself. By focusing on your actions, you become a force that shapes the world, not by force or manipulation, but by the quiet, powerful discipline of intentional action. 5. Detach from the outcome, letting go of external results. One of the most powerful Stoic principles that will strengthen your focus is the practice of detaching from outcomes. In a world obsessed with results, success, and external validation, the Stoics knew that true peace and strength came not from the fruits of our labor, but from our ability to focus on the process, regardless of the outcome. This detachment is a vital tool for maintaining your focus in a world that constantly pressures you to measure success by external standards. Consider this: how many times have you focused all your energy on achieving a specific result, only to be frustrated when it doesn't go as planned? Whether it's a project at work, a personal goal, or even a relationship, the desire for a certain outcome can cloud your judgment, dilute your focus, and ultimately lead to disappointment. The Stoics understood that outcomes are often beyond our control, and that placing our happiness and peace on something we can't influence is a dangerous game. Instead, the Stoic mindset teaches us to focus solely on the process. You control the effort, the intention, and the action you put into the task. You do not control how the world reacts, nor the circumstances that arise along the way. Detach from the need for a specific result and put your energy into doing what you can in the present moment with excellence. This allows you to remain focused, calm, and steady, no matter how things unfold. When you detach from the outcome, you free yourself from the tyranny of expectations. You no longer tie your worth or happiness to whether or not you succeed in a particular task. Instead, you measure your success by the integrity of your actions. Were you disciplined? Were you consistent? Did you give your best effort, regardless of the external result? These are the only metrics that matter from a Stoic perspective. Think of a bow and arrow. The archer can control how the arrow is shot, the precision, the technique, the aim. But once the arrow is released, it's no longer in the archer's control. It may hit the target, or it may miss. But what defines the archer is the quality of the shot, not whether or not it hits the mark. The Stoics' focus is on shooting the arrow with skill and care, not on whether the arrow reaches its target. This principle of detaching from the outcome is not about giving up ambition or effort, far from it. It's about understanding that the only true thing you can control is the present moment, the actions you take right now. By letting go of the need for external validation or specific results, you liberate yourself from the anxiety that so often undermines focus and peace. You become free to act with clarity, knowing that your peace is not dependent on things outside your control. In every area of life, from work to relationships to personal growth, practicing this detachment from outcomes sharpens your focus and strengthens your resolve. You can put in the work, be disciplined, and give your best, without allowing the fear of failure or the desire for success to cloud your judgment. The only true success in the Stoic view is the ability to act virtuously and with purpose in the face of any circumstance, regardless of the result. As we move forward, the next lesson will deepen our understanding of focus by teaching us how to cultivate presence in the moment. By letting go of attachment to outcomes, we make space for full engagement in the present, an essential skill for mastering focus and achieving lasting success. 6. Cultivate presence, living in the moment. The art of focus is deeply connected to our ability to be fully present in each moment. The Stoics understood that true mastery of life is not found in obsessing over the past or worrying about the future, but in immersing ourselves completely in the here and now. This is where real power lies, where true action takes place. If you wish to focus like a Stoic, you must first learn to cultivate presence. The world is full of distractions, and modern life pulls us in 1,000 directions at once. Our minds are constantly split between what has already happened and what might happen. But the Stoic leader, the one who is truly focused, lives in the present moment. They understand that this moment, right here and right now, is all that we can control. This is where your power is. The Stoics teach us that the present moment is not something to be passed through, but something to be fully embraced. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself to stay rooted in the present, not to be pulled away by unnecessary distractions. He knew that worrying about the past with its regrets or the future with its uncertainties only drained energy from the present. Instead of dwelling on what could have been or what might be, he focused on what he could do right now, in this very moment. This is the Stoic art of presence. Presence means you give your full attention to what is before you, whether it's a task at hand, a conversation, or a challenge. It's about rejecting the urge to mentally jump from one thing to the next, and instead choosing to stay grounded in the current experience. When you are fully present, you are focused. When you are focused, you are unstoppable. Imagine that you are in a meeting or working on a project. The temptation to check your phone, think about your to-do list, or daydream about the weekend can be overwhelming. But the Stoic mindset asks, can you focus your full attention on the task at hand, fully engaged with what you're doing, without letting external distractions pull you away? This is the true power of presence. It's important to recognize that cultivating presence doesn't mean you abandon planning for the future or reflecting on the past. The Stoics were not indifferent to the need for foresight or wisdom gained from past experience. What they advocated for was the ability to pull your attention back to the present moment when it matters most. Every time you catch yourself worrying about a future outcome or ruminating over past mistakes, simply bring your attention back to what you are doing now. This practice of returning to the present moment is the key to focus. The ability to stay present is not something that comes naturally, it must be cultivated. One way to build this skill is through mindfulness. When you begin a task, take a moment to ground yourself. Feel the sensations in your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Breathe deeply. And then, direct your full attention to the task at hand, shutting out the mental noise that tries to pull you in 1,000 directions. This simple act of mindfulness, repeated consistently, sharpens your focus over time. The Stoics knew that life's distractions are inevitable, but they also knew that we can train ourselves to return to the present, time and time again. It's not about eliminating distractions entirely, but about refining the ability to focus when it truly matters. By mastering presence, you harness the full potential of every moment, every action, and every choice. As we continue, we will explore how mastering presence directly impacts your reactions to external events and challenges. The more you can stay present, the more you will see the world for what it truly is, a series of opportunities to practice virtue, resilience, and clarity of mind. But first, take a moment and ask yourself, where is your focus right now? Is it on the present, or has your mind wandered away? Bringing your attention back to the here and now is the first step in mastering true focus. 7. Develop discipline, consistency, and focus. One of the most fundamental Stoic virtues that shapes focus is discipline. Discipline is the practice of consistently applying effort, day in and day out, regardless of external circumstances or internal resistance. It is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who falter when things get tough. For the Stoic leader, discipline is not a temporary state, it is a way of life. Focus without discipline is fleeting. It is like a fire that burns brightly for a moment, only to fade away when the wind blows. But when you combine focus with discipline, it becomes a lasting force. Discipline is the ability to show up, to remain committed to your purpose, and to stay consistent in your actions, even when motivation wanes or when life presents obstacles. It's not about doing things when it's easy, but doing them even when it's hard. The Stoics believed that consistency in small, everyday actions was the key to achieving long-term success. They did not look for quick fixes or shortcuts. Instead, they focused on creating daily habits and routines that aligned with their values. By committing to the process, not the outcome, the Stoic leader builds discipline, which in turn sustains their focus. Consider this: how many times have you started a new habit only to fall off track when things got difficult or when distractions arose? The Stoic mindset teaches us that the true test of discipline is not in the moments of ease, but in the moments of struggle. It is easy to stay focused when everything is going well, but it is the disciplined individual who continues to push forward, even when the path becomes challenging. Discipline is like a muscle. It must be developed over time through consistent effort. It's about creating small, repeatable actions that reinforce your focus and your commitment to what truly matters. This could be as simple as sticking to a morning routine, dedicating time each day to your work, or ensuring you take care of your health, even when life gets busy. The key is to prioritize these actions, no matter how small they seem, and to do them consistently without fail. The Stoic leader's day is filled with deliberate, disciplined actions that reflect their values. They do not wait for the perfect moment to act, they create the perfect moment through their disciplined habits. They understand that it is not enough to have the ability to focus for short bursts. True power comes from the ability to maintain focus over time through consistent effort. But discipline does not mean rigidity or self-punishment. It means showing up for yourself every day with purpose and intention. It means creating an environment where focus thrives by eliminating distractions and setting yourself up for success. It's about taking ownership of your actions, no matter how mundane or difficult they may seem, and doing them with excellence. The Stoics also knew that discipline was rooted in self-awareness. It is the ability to recognize when you are straying from your path and to bring yourself back. When you practice discipline, you are essentially practicing self-mastery. You are not allowing your external circumstances or your emotions to dictate your actions. Instead, you are the one who decides where your focus goes every single day. In the next section, we will explore how discipline and focus can be further sharpened by embracing adversity. When you meet challenges head-on, with unwavering discipline and focus, you transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Let's dive deeper into how embracing discomfort can fuel your journey toward mastery. 8. Embrace adversity. Growth through challenges. In the Stoic worldview, adversity is not something to be avoided or feared. It is an essential part of growth. For the Stoic leader, every obstacle is an opportunity to sharpen focus, strengthen resilience, and grow in character. It is through discomfort and hardship that we are tested, refined, and ultimately made stronger. The Stoics believe that we should not only accept adversity, but embrace it as a critical part of the journey toward personal mastery. Adversity is inevitable. Life will throw challenges your way, whether in your career, relationships, health, or personal development. And yet, the Stoics understood that it is not these challenges themselves that define us, but how we respond to them. How we face adversity shapes the quality of our character and the strength of our focus. When you encounter difficulty, you are given a choice to react with frustration and fear, or to meet it with resilience, purpose, and focus. The Stoic response is clear: embrace adversity, for it is the crucible that forges greatness. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic emperors, regularly reflected on the inevitability of challenges. In his meditations, he reminded himself that everything he encountered, even the unpleasant, was an opportunity to practice virtue and strength. Every setback was an invitation to grow in patience, discipline, and focus. The Stoics viewed adversity not as something to escape, but as a necessary tool for owning the mind and body. The challenge, then, is not to avoid difficulty, but to reframe your perspective. When you face a setback or an unexpected hardship, instead of succumbing to negative emotions, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this challenge make me stronger? By changing your perspective, you take control of the situation. You focus not on what is happening to you, but on how you choose to respond. This is the Stoic path. Embracing adversity does not mean seeking out discomfort for the sake of it. It means recognizing that growth often comes through struggle. It means showing up with the same focus and discipline, whether the circumstances are easy or difficult. The Stoics believed that every challenge, every obstacle, was an opportunity to demonstrate resilience, to refine your focus, and to strengthen your inner resolve. Let's consider a practical example. You're facing a challenging project at work, one that demands extra time, energy, and mental effort. The natural instinct might be to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even to procrastinate in hopes that the task will somehow become easier. But the Stoic mindset asks, how can I embrace this challenge? How can I focus on the process, not the difficulty? By embracing adversity, you train your mind to face challenges with clarity and purpose, knowing that each task, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to grow. When you embrace adversity, you also embrace the idea of impermanence. Life's difficulties are temporary, they will pass. And when they do, you will be left stronger, more resilient, and more focused. This understanding allows you to stay present, no matter how difficult the situation. By facing challenges head-on, you cultivate the kind of focus that enables you to rise above any situation, no matter how daunting. In the next section, we will examine how developing emotional control, another Stoic principle, allows you to maintain focus and composure even in the face of adversity. Emotional stability is a crucial component in the art of focus, and the Stoic leader masters it by continually practicing self-control in all situations. 9. Master emotional control, the key to steady focus. To truly master focus, you must develop control over your emotions. The Stoics understood that emotions are powerful forces, but they also recognized that we are not slaves to them. Emotions are natural, but how we respond to them is entirely within our control. For the Stoic, emotional control is not about suppressing or denying feelings, but about understanding and managing them so that they do not interfere with reason or focus. In the heat of a moment, whether it's stress at work, frustration in a relationship, or anger over a setback, emotions can easily hijack our attention, cloud our judgment, and break our concentration. The Stoics, however, taught that we should not be ruled by our emotional impulses. Instead, we must recognize them as passing events and maintain our focus on what is truly important, our actions, our values, and the present moment. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized the importance of emotional control in his writings. He wrote that we must not let our emotions dictate our actions. Instead, we should train ourselves to respond to events with calm and composure, no matter how intense the situation may be. This is where the true power of focus lies. When you can remain steady, even when emotions surge, you maintain clarity of mind and purpose. The first step in mastering emotional control is awareness. The Stoic approach encourages you to observe your emotions without becoming attached to them. When you feel anger, anxiety, or fear arise, don't immediately react. Instead, pause and acknowledge the feeling. Ask yourself, what is the cause of this emotion? Is it something within my control? By understanding the source of your emotional state, you empower yourself to choose how to respond. Take the example of anger. Anger is a powerful emotion, one that can cause us to act impulsively and destructively. But the Stoic response is different. When anger arises, instead of letting it dictate your actions, you step back and reflect. You recognize that anger is a reaction to something external, something that may be beyond your control. You ask yourself whether responding in anger is productive, whether it aligns with your values. In most cases, the Stoic response is to let go of the anger, focusing instead on how to act with wisdom, patience, and reason. Another critical aspect of emotional control is the ability to detach your emotions from external events. The Stoics believe that while you cannot control external circumstances, you can control how you perceive and respond to them. By reframing challenges and difficulties in a way that aligns with your values, you prevent external events from dictating your emotional state. This doesn't mean you become indifferent or numb to emotions. It means you don't let them rule your actions. For example, if you face criticism, rather than reacting with defensiveness or resentment, you take a step back. You examine whether there is any truth to the criticism, and if so, you focus on using it as a learning opportunity. You acknowledge the emotion, but you don't allow it to disrupt your focus or your behavior. The ability to master emotional control is directly linked to maintaining focus. When your emotions are in check, your mind is clear and you can direct your attention to what truly matters. Whether you're working on a difficult task, having a challenging conversation, or dealing with adversity, emotional control allows you to stay grounded and effective. In the next section, we'll discuss the importance of setting clear intentions, as they help anchor your focus and guide your actions, especially when emotions try to pull you in different directions. Intentions are a powerful tool that, when used correctly, can align your focus with your purpose and keep you on the path of Stoic discipline. 10. Set clear intentions. guiding your focus with purpose. A leader's focus is not merely the absence of distraction, it is the presence of purpose. The Stoics understood that to truly channel your energy and attention, you must have a clear sense of direction and intention that guides your actions. Without intention, focus becomes aimless and scattered. But with a well-defined purpose, every action, every decision becomes a deliberate step toward achieving your goals. The Stoic leader is a person of clear intentions. They do not act on impulse, but with a specific purpose in mind. Their actions are grounded in values, shaped by long-term goals, and driven by a commitment to virtue. This clarity of intention ensures that their focus remains sharp, even in the face of distractions or adversity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, constantly reminded himself to live with purpose. He asked himself, what is the nature of the work before me? What is the greater good that I can serve in this moment? These questions helped him keep his focus on the right course, no matter the external pressures. By grounding himself in the purpose of his role, Marcus could remain calm, composed, and focused in the face of both triumph and turmoil. Setting clear intentions is more than just having a goal. It is about understanding why you are pursuing that goal and how it aligns with your values. This deep sense of purpose provides a steady anchor for your focus. When you know why you are doing something, you can push through obstacles and distractions with resolve. But when your intentions are unclear or misaligned, distractions become more powerful and focus becomes harder to maintain. To set clear intentions, start by defining your core values. What do you want to stand for in this life? What is your overarching purpose, the vision that guides you? Once you have clarity on this, you can break down your larger goals into specific actions that align with your values. For example, if your value is to serve others, your intention could be to approach every task with a mindset of service, whether in your work, relationships, or personal development. This intention serves as a compass that keeps you focused, no matter what happens around you. The Stoics also understood the importance of daily intention setting. Every morning, they would reflect on the day ahead and remind themselves of their purpose. They would ask, what challenges will I face today, and how can I stay true to my values through them? This practice of intentional reflection helps you stay grounded in your purpose and prevents distractions from pulling you off course. When you set intentions, you give yourself a roadmap for the day. You define what success looks like, not in terms of external outcomes, but in terms of aligning your actions with your values. This focus on process, rather than result, helps you maintain clarity and control, no matter what the day throws at you. The beauty of intention setting is that it not only sharpens your focus, but it also provides a sense of fulfillment. When you take actions that are aligned with your values, you experience a deeper satisfaction than simply achieving external success. The Stoics knew that true fulfillment comes from living according to your principles, not from accumulating material wealth or accolades. In the next section, we will explore the importance of developing mental resilience. While intention gives you direction, mental resilience ensures you can stay focused and persevere when the road gets tough. Together, intention and resilience form the foundation for Stoic leadership, enabling you to stay on course, no matter the challenges ahead. 11. Build mental resilience, strengthening focus through adversity. In the Stoic tradition, resilience is not just about enduring hardship, it is about using adversity as a means to build strength, sharpen focus, and cultivate a mind that cannot be easily swayed by external circumstances. The Stoic leader understands that the road to greatness is not a straight path. There will be setbacks, failures, and obstacles. What truly matters is how we respond to these challenges, how we build resilience in the face of adversity, and how we keep our focus sharp, even when life tests us. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey may be. The Stoics believe that every challenge, no matter how painful, is an opportunity for growth. Rather than seeing obstacles as something to be avoided, they saw them as opportunities to strengthen the mind and sharpen focus. Seneca, in his writings, often discussed how we can grow stronger through adversity. He taught that the human spirit, like steel, is forged in the fire. When we face challenges, our minds and characters are tested. If we approach these difficulties with the right mindset, they become the crucible in which we refine our focus and resilience. In essence, Stoic resilience is not about avoiding discomfort or pain, but about embracing it and learning from it. A resilient mind does not succumb to negative emotions or external circumstances. Instead, it maintains a steady focus on the things that matter most: virtue, growth, and purpose. When faced with difficulty, the Stoic leader does not waver. They do not waste energy on complaining or lamenting what cannot be controlled. Instead, they focus on what they can control: their response. The Stoic response is not one of passivity or indifference, but of active engagement with the present moment with clarity and calm. One of the most powerful tools for developing resilience is the practice of negative visualization. The Stoics would regularly imagine the worst-case scenarios, not as a way to induce fear, but as a way to mentally prepare themselves for the inevitable challenges of life. By visualizing difficulties before they arise, they reduce the emotional impact when those difficulties actually occurred. This practice allowed them to maintain focus and composure, even in the most challenging times. For example, imagine that you are working on a project with a tight deadline. You feel the pressure mounting, and the fear of failure starts to creep in. A resilient Stoic would take a step back and remind themselves that failure is not the end. They would visualize the worst-case scenario, perhaps missing the deadline, and mentally prepare for how they would respond. They would ask themselves, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this setback to grow? This shift in perspective allows them to face the challenge with greater resilience, knowing that whatever happens, they will be able to recover and continue forward with greater wisdom. Another key aspect of mental resilience is the ability to stay flexible in the face of change. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of planning can prevent challenges from arising. The Stoic leader embraces this uncertainty. They do not rigidly cling to one way of doing things, but are open to adapting, learning, and finding new ways to move forward. This mental flexibility is crucial to maintaining focus when external circumstances are in flux. When we encounter unexpected changes, our first instinct may be to resist or become frustrated. But the Stoic perspective teaches us to embrace change as a natural part of life. In fact, change is often an opportunity for growth and innovation. When we accept that the world is constantly shifting, we are better able to focus on what is within our control: our actions, our mindset, and our response. Developing mental resilience is also about building a strong foundation of self-belief. The Stoics believe that we must trust in our own ability to face adversity with dignity and resolve. By reminding ourselves of our past successes and the strength we have shown in previous challenges, we build a reservoir of confidence that we can draw from in times of difficulty. Resilience comes from knowing that we have faced challenges before and emerged stronger, and that we have the ability to do so again. Finally, a resilient mind does not dwell on past mistakes or future uncertainties. The Stoic leader focuses on the present moment and the task at hand. They understand that the only way to build resilience is through consistent and effort, even when things are hard. They focus on the next step, not the entire journey, and trust that each small effort contributes to their overall growth. In the next section, we will explore how cultivating a sense of gratitude can enhance resilience and focus. By appreciating what we have, rather than focusing on what we lack, we build a mindset that is strong, centered, and ready to face any challenge that comes our way. Gratitude as a Stoic practice helps us reframe adversity, allowing us to find meaning in even the most difficult situations. 12. Cultivate gratitude, a Stoic practice for focus and resilience. Gratitude, often seen as a simple emotional response, holds a profound and transformative power in Stoic philosophy. For the Stoic leader, gratitude is not just an occasional feeling, it is a daily practice that grounds the mind, refines focus, and strengthens resilience. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. This simple shift in mindset can enhance our ability to stay present, maintain clarity, and overcome the inevitable challenges of life. The Stoics understood that life is filled with both blessings and hardships, but it is our perception of these experiences that defines their impact on us. Gratitude is not about ignoring the difficulties we face, but about recognizing the opportunities within them. It is about acknowledging the goodness that exists in our lives, no matter how small, and using that recognition to fuel our inner strength and focus. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often reminded his readers to appreciate the simple things in life. In a world full of distractions, ambition, and striving, he believed that gratitude allowed us to ground ourselves in the present moment. When we practice gratitude, we are reminded that even in the midst of struggle, there is much to be thankful for: our health, our relationships, our opportunities, and even our ability to face challenges with resilience and focus. Gratitude also serves as an antidote to negativity and frustration. When we focus on what we lack, we create a mental environment of dissatisfaction. This dissatisfaction undermines our focus and drains our energy. But when we cultivate gratitude, we reframe our mindset. We begin to see every experience, even the difficult ones, as an opportunity for growth. We acknowledge that hardship, too, has its purpose. It teaches us resilience, it refines our character, and it strengthens our resolve. To practice gratitude, the Stoic leader begins each day by reflecting on what they are thankful for. This simple practice helps them center their thoughts on what is truly important: health, family, the ability to serve others, and the opportunity to grow. Even in moments of adversity, the Stoic leader looks for the lessons that hardship can teach. By doing so, they build a mindset that is both focused and resilient, capable of facing any challenge with calm and purpose. Gratitude, in the Stoic sense, is not about passive appreciation, but active recognition. It is about acknowledging the good and using it as a foundation for action. When we are grateful, we are more likely to remain focused on our goals, more resilient in the face of adversity, and more aligned with our core values.